Hi, Rod Atwood with WebSnoogie here, and today I'm going to show you how to look at your raw access logs on your cPanel. I know in the past, reviewing these raw access logs have been very helpful to me sometimes when I couldn't find the data in, for example, my AW stats. Um, AW stats is good for reading logs, but sometimes you're looking for maybe some additional data about something going on your server, and looking at those raw access logs can be invaluable to you. Um, Today for the project, you're going to need a couple of programs. One program is you're going to need a GZ unzipper. And these files are stored in a .gz compressed format. Yeah, it's kind of like a zip format, and it's what Linux servers commonly use. They also use .tar and .gzip and other formats as well. But this .gz is a very common format. And to open these files today, I'm using 7-zip. A word of caution, be careful where you download these programs from. If you're downloading a freebie, in that, it's real easy to get malware or viruses these days, so always be careful. And you would just typically log into your control panel. Now for this video, I'm logged into WebSnoogie, but with your own hosting company, you should have probably a similar control panel. And if you just go under the category of logs and click on raw access logs. Now we're looking at Big O coupons today, so I'm saving the access logs for Big O coupons. And let me just run through that again so you can see what I did. I just went to logs, clicked on raw access logs, and if you have more than one website, it gives you options. But if that's your only website, then you just click on the access logs for that particular domain. And down through here, under your raw access logs, these are archive logs from earlier this year. So if you want to go through any of those, you can. Then what you want to do is you can see where I've downloaded this twice, and they have two different timestamps on them. You want to uncompress that. So we're going to take one of these files, and we're going to use gzip and open the archive and uncompress. Now, what comes up is bigocoupons.com, which is the name of the website. The problem is, if you're using a Windows box, you're actually not going to be able to open that file because Windows looks at .com files as if they're programs. So you need to convert that file into a .txt file to be able to open it in the editor. Now, if it's just showing on your Windows box Big O coupons and not showing you the file extension, what you want to do is go to your View tab. And I'm using Windows 8, but all versions of Windows has a View tab located in the Properties. And then you just want to make sure that your file name extension is checked. And what that allows you to do is be able to manipulate the file name extension and change it to different names. So now I'm going to go ahead and right click and click rename, and then I'm going to rename that to .txt. And it's asking me to confirm. Now it is a text file. So now I'm going to go ahead and open it. And it opened the file in Notepad. And you can see it kind of looks like the matrix. All this data looks a little bit like the matrix. But we're going to go through it and make it a lot simpler to view. The other program that you're going to need today is some type of file viewer, and I'm using my Swiss Army knife for my file viewer, and I say that lovingly. The Coffee Cup HTML editor is one of my favorites for doing things like this. You may have a different file viewer, and that's okay. But the Coffee Cup HTML editor, I use it for a lot of different stuff, and this is one of the things I use it for. So what I just did to go back over this is I just went in and copied all of my text, and then I just copied it into the Coffee Cup HTML editor, and now you can view each one of the entries of the raw access logs. So the first thing that you see is the actual IP address, and then the time date stamp, and then the web address that was accessed. You can also see down through over here the code that was sent back from the server, like 200. That means that it correctly accessed that particular web address. If it says 404, that means that it did not access that web address, that it was missing and could not be found. 302 means it's redirected, and you can actually look those codes up online. They're in a lot of different places. The next thing you typically have here is where the person was visiting from, wherever they're visiting from. In this case, so say that somebody Googled you, it'd have the Google refer there. The next thing is what kind of browser they're using. In this case, they're using Mozilla, which is Firefox. And then if they're a bot, which is kind of like an automatic robot that would access your website and look at your different pages. And bots generally will identify themselves if they're good bots. And in this case, this comes from the Ahrefs bot, and it has their web address there if you want more information or anything like that. And that's all stored in your raw access logs. So you can actually go through there and look at that data and see what's going on. So this is an example of your raw access logs, and if you see any issues, say that somebody was like trying to log into your website and you saw it over and over again. Typically what you'd want to do is go ahead and copy that IP address, and then you would go back to your control panel, and then you have the option to block that individual from your website. You do that under your security area, and then IP deny manager, and then just simply copy that IP address in, and then add. And like if you copy an IP address in, let's take an IP here. Let's grab an IP off the control panel here. Let's say that I wanted to add that IP in. But they may have other internet addresses with the same 3 octaves, and so what I might go ahead and do is back it up to the first 2 octets, and so 3758. So any combination after 37.58, any combination of web address is going to be blocked. For you that are new to this, that may not make a lot of sense, but what it's saying basically is if I have a lot of IP addresses with 37.58, and then dot whatever, it's going to block any combination after the 3758. So then I just add that, and you can see I've added that onto my site, and so it's blocked anything starting with 37.58.0.0 to 37.58.255.255, which is the highest number of an octet IP address. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and we're going to take that back off because we don't want to block Ahrefs. And there you go. That's it in a nutshell. That's how you view your server logs and get in there. If anybody has any questions, if you're a client, I certainly will be glad to spend some time with you in going over these. But they can be very valuable sometimes when you're trying to find data out about your website. In most cases, just going to the AW stats can be a big help. We go over to AW stats. That can be a big help and tell you what's going on your website as well. So I hope you got something out of the video today, and thanks for viewing, and take care.